Hello, my name's Emma and I'm a climate change and environment science communicator, and I studied the Science Communication Masters at UWE in 2018-2019. Now, one of the places my work takes me is the Swedish High Arctic. This is Abisko National Park, where I'm working with the university and a tourist station on some public engagement initiatives working with climate change. I'm standing on a frozen lake, one of the weird and wonderful perks of the job, I suppose. It's February, it's not as cold as it should be because of climate change, but it's definitely still very cold. So let's head on up to the research station so I can tell you a little bit more about my work and the Masters. So one of my favourite bits of the Masters was the fact that we had these practical weeks. So I spent a week with Films at 59 learning how to become a better filmmaker and content creator. Well, I'll let you decide whether that actually worked for me. And then we also spent some time at the BBC radio studios learning about radio production. And one of the things that I do now is work with environmental NGOs on their podcast projects. So for me, that was invaluable. I first came to this research station as an intern as part of the Master's degree. I created a podcast that took listeners out into the field, showcased stories of climate research in the Arctic, and looked at public trust in science podcasts. I had been working in digital marketing before, so the course was a great opportunity for me to learn more about the specifics of communicating science to different audiences. So now, instead of trying to sell people things, my work mostly hinges on finding the human interest and local importance of quite nuanced topics. So climate change affects everybody on the planet, but not everybody wants to hear about the fact that the permafrost is thawing and releasing loads of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. So instead, while I'm up here, I might talk about the fact that the warming winters mean that the ski season is getting much shorter, or that the reindeer that live locally are struggling to get across lake ice when it doesn't freeze quite so much and they might fall through. Because who doesn't love a bit of charismatic megafauna? Or an excuse to tell you that I saw a moose here yesterday. So UWE have asked for my advice. And my advice, if you are interested in becoming a science communicator, is to definitely look at and apply for the Masters. It gave me a really broad range of skills and it was a great experience. And if you're already on the course, my advice is that the year just flies by, so make the most of it and get to know your classmates really well. I've made some really wonderful lifelong friends and some of them are now collaborators on some pretty cool projects too.